You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dinny Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Yo, what is up, and welcome to another awesome episode of Vigilantes Radio. I'm your host, dini-mussolini, and we have a very special guest. So you definitely want to stick around for that. Trust me. So some of the greatest achievements come from the biggest frustrations. In frustration, there is an enormous amount of energy. Too often that energy is directed and focused in negative ways, but it certainly does not have to be. Some people use frustration as an excuse to destroy. While that may be completely understandable, it doesn't do anything to improve the situation. The gratification of any revenge is quickly replaced by an even bigger and more desperate frustration. The best responses to frustration is positive action. Say it with me. Positive action. So you have every right to be angry, but so what? The real challenge is to make a positive difference. The energy of frustration is a powerful resource which can propel you to new heights. Don't waste it by trying to bring someone else down to your level. There is an abundant energy in your frustration. It is yours to use for whatever purpose that you desire. You've paid dearly for that frustration, so funnel it in a positive direction and make the very most of it. Take that from me, dini-mussolini. That is my word. And word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music or Inside the Book. Inside the Business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos, crystalline or starseeds, or for my Vigilantes audience family, and 2 times for my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 4 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect, and we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award-winning artists to nominees to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens, or people who think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. And that's V as in Victor. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. Text that number to your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be right here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. Feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much and we take up the entire hour. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, or any app from the Google Play or iTunes Store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we ever aired.
All right, guys, tonight's interview is the Benny Sinclair interview, and again, I'm your host, dini-mussolini. Our interviews go beyond the books, the music, the business, the movies, and into the minds of the artists, of the people, the entrepreneurs who create these marvelous aspirations. As I said before, our special guest is Benny Sinclair. So with that, let's go ahead and welcome him to the show. Hey, man, you're now live in the midst with all of us. How's it going?
Yeah, really good. Pleasure to be here talking with you.
Most definitely, man. The pleasure is all of ours. So, man, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's a pretty exciting time to be Benny Sinclair. You got great music going on, good times, album from 2019, Assumptions, and singles popping out the woo. So, yeah, tell us about your musical path in 2019, how it all led to the point that you are now in 2020.
Well, 2019, I dropped my third solo release entitled Assumptions. I'm actually working on a 4-album project, and it started with The Impeccable Word in 17 and Don't Take It Personal in 18, and then 19 was all about Assumptions. And we kicked that off with a song called Nothing Comes Easy, and I was an ex-professional boxer, so a lot of the material behind this was things my coaches had told me over the years, and I also do a bit of work as a trainer, and a lot of the things I sort of pass on to my own students. So yeah, that one really came from the heart, and we were busy working away, getting the album finished, and got it out there. Took it over to the States via college radio and had a bit of commercial radio play over there, and the support's been really good, and it's probably my favorite album to date. So it was a big year, and I've had some really positive feedback and happy with the way it's going so far.
Most definitely. How long did it take you to record everything, to pin the ideas down, to get the visuals done, as well as just making sure the whole project was ready for us to consume it?
I would say 12 months, and that was laying down vocals. I probably laid down my first, I'd say a good maybe a little bit under 12 months. I mean, I started listening to music and getting ideas a good 12 months, but I think I laid down my first lyrics in maybe January or February 2019, and then we were mixed and mastered and ready to go by I think about October. But then there's still videos and stuff that we had to do as well along the way, and but we got 2 videos in there, and it was all, the videos were kind of straightforward. We got most of the shooting done in a day, but just all, by the time it gets edited and everything, can take a little bit of time to get it out there. But it's all been a pretty positive project, and it was something I really I was really passionate about, really enjoyed it. We were up late night mixing and mastering, but I wouldn't take any of that time back, because it was all worth it in the end.
Most definitely. How long are you predicting for it to take to pen this new album?
I'm thinking about a year. I was actually in California just recording. I've just got back, and I laid down 4 tracks in about a week, and that was all just pure vibe music. Yeah. So I've been working, and I'm coming on board with Round 2 Music, and they've just kind of like relaunched their label, and and given us an opportunity with them. So yeah, we're working towards releasing this 4th album through them, and I was happy that we got 4 tracks done, and it just rolled together so nicely. Like, I spent a good couple months just listening to music and getting ideas and writing a few lyrics, but I really like to kind of, I find my best tracks are like when you get in the studio from scratch and you're just purely going on the vibe and the idea, and you're working with your producer and you're working with your DJ, and you just make the magic happen then and there, and it's really hard to get that vibe unless you're all in there together on the same page and working towards the same thing. And I think that's what I enjoyed the most about the 4 tracks we laid down, was that it was just, rock up to the studio and what do you feel like doing today? What are you feeling? What have you got for us? And we'll come up with an idea, and then be an idea that we're all feeling, and from an idea to a finished mix or semi-mixed demo. We would have that down in 8 to 10 hours, and I thought, I was happy with that. That was good. Walked away from the studio each day feeling fulfilled, like we'd really accomplished something. And to get the 4 tracks in sort of like about 6 days, it was a lot of hard work, but like I said before, I wouldn't take any of it back. It was, I felt quite. I went home on the plane thinking, job well done, and I'm really proud of what we put in with the time we had.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: how do you feel at the end of a project? I've heard some feel empty and the need to start again on something new, and some just relieved of the stress that came with putting a project together, depending on people having people having a lack of faith, or people not supportive, and they kind of need a break from music and press and all the things that concern actually promoting the album. So how is it for you, man? Did you go immediately back into the studio, or do you feel like even a grace period of 2 weeks maybe of time off just to reflect on the work that you put in for Assumptions?
Yeah, I can absolutely relate to what you're saying. It's just that, and because we had a deadline with the college radio campaign, because we released the single first, so we were in a bit of a. I wouldn't say no. I don't feel any part of it was rushed. I feel like we got there in the time it was supposed to. So the deadline, everything kind of went to plan. But yeah, there is that sigh of relief that, it's done, and even like just the little nitty gritty things like getting your artwork together and, trying to get the accreditations all done right and all that sort of stuff. And it is quite relieving. So what I felt like doing after Assumptions was just listening to music, enjoying music. But of course, when you listen to a track after you've made music, your ears are always open 100%. You analyze every single song you hear. Well, I do anyway. And I try to just like take a step back and just enjoy music and just feel it and vibe off it. And also, but when I do that, I just get more hungry. I'm like, there's another idea. There's another idea. I just want to keep making it. So yeah, it's a combination of both. But it's nice to just have that moment where you can just go, relax. Let's. I think on this one, I've got a track called Champagne. So yeah, popped open a bottle of champagne, had a glass, and just kicked back and relaxed and embraced it. It was really nice.
Most definitely. All right. So, man, tell us about that moment in time that you saw someone live or heard some piece of music that moved your soul to the notion that music was something that you just had to pursue in your life. Who or what inspired you to get started?
Yeah, I'll say the first, I can remember the first time I heard rap where I basically stood still, and I grew up in Melbourne, Australia, so I don't think we had the diverse range of hip hop and urban or even soul music that you guys would have had in the States, growing up in the States. But I remember, you might laugh, but it was a Tone Loc song. I think it was Funky Cole Medina, and I was probably about 9 or 10, and I was just driving along, and I'm like, what is that? You know, it just sounded so cool, just the funk, and he had a really nice tone, and all that. And then it sort of drew me to other music. But then I after Tone Loc, I kind of stopped a little bit. But when I first heard NWA and you know, just Dre's beats and stuff like that, I was just like, wow. And that made me want to form a little hip hop crew with my friends. So we would have been about you know, I would have been maybe 11 or 12 or something like that, and we'd go to a park and we'd start writing lyrics, and I was always the guy driving it, and we just used a tape recorder back then, and just you know, sort of have one tape playing the NWA beat in the background, and I'd just be rapping over the top, and we just did it like that. But it was a good way of starting out. And the live moment was a few years later. My mum's actually born in Nuremberg, Germany. She came out to Australia when she was quite young, and I was visiting some family when I just turned 18, and I'd been listening to Wu-Tang Clan for quite a few years, and I just couldn't believe my luck. They were performing in my mum's home city in 1997, and I was just, this is a sign, man. This is, you know, this just doesn't happen. You know, your favorite hip hop, your favorite group in the world is performing in your mum's home city. The first time I'd ever been there. So I bought a ticket. I bought my cousin, who, like, she's studying to be a school teacher. She's totally not into that genre of music, but I dragged her along, and I just embraced every minute, man. The whole Wu-Tang Clan was there, from Capadonna to ODB. Method Man was breaking. I was just rapping along to all their lyrics. I think Method Man kind of pointed me out in the crowd at one point, and I was, you know, kind of gave me a bit of spotlight, and mate, it was magic. I'll never take that back. I don't think I'll ever go to a better gig than that. It was amazing.
Wow.
It really was. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah. I just knew, I got to be part of this. I just couldn't you know, I just couldn't let it go after that. It was amazing.
Yes, sir. So, Benny, what makes this time around in music stand out from what you've recorded in the past?
I think that's a good question. Do you mean in relation to Assumptions or the new stuff? Yeah. I feel like I've grown into my sound, and what I'm comfortable with is being known as an eclectic artist. I like to mix up flows. I like to mix up sounds. However, everything all has relevance to one particular sound, which is me as an artist. Although, you know, there's a lot of different ideas in there, and I think the blend of ideas on Assumption works together, you know, as one piece. And it's not, you know, you can almost feel like, you know, there are moments in there where, you know, it's more up tempo, and there's moments up there where it's a little bit more down. So you can, you know, whatever you're going through in your life, you can relate. There's something from this album that you can relate, and I feel that's why it's come out so strong, and the feedback's been so good. And I'm you know, I've grown into myself a little bit more, and I feel that you know, people are appreciating the style of hip hop I'm doing a lot more, and respecting it for what it is, and in my own vibe, I'm appreciative of that, and it is driving me harder, and just want to keep going, and if I could, I'd be in the studio every day doing a new song. I can't get enough right now. I'm really loving it.
Most definitely. How important are lyrics to you?
Lyrics are my first album is called The Impeccable Word, and that's based around the power of words, you know, and how and the appreciation of words, and, you know, words if you think of the power of lyrics and the power of words can change the world. The words can declare wars. Words can declare peace. But I think I'm a person that I've learned a lot through my years. Even when I was boxing training, I could be in the gym and I could hear a trainer telling some other fighter to do something, and I would embrace that and try it myself. Mm-hmm. But my years are like my biggest strength, and so for me, lyrics are the utmost importance. And what I'm hoping to do through my lyrics is not only narrate parts of my life or my experiences, but also overall deliver positive message and give people something they can turn to through tough times and come out of that and do the best they can in their own lives. So yeah, I'm hoping that my listeners also feel as passionate and as strong about lyrics, because I'm not one just to throw away any old line because it rhymes. Everything has a meaning behind it.
Yeah. And man, how hard is that for you to make sure that your emotions, experiences, inspirations, aspirations are getting their due representation in song form?
It's hard. It's not. I wouldn't say. I'd say it's hard work because you've got to stick at it. But I'm so passionate about it that I just love it. I could do it all day long, and so I can also freestyle if I need to. But it's nice to kind of take the time to write something proper and go over it a few times. But the writing process doesn't take me that long, because I've been doing it not only a long time, but when you speak the truth and you speak from the heart and you've got a lot of experiences to tell, I find it quite easy to bring that out. And so it's hard from a perspective of, if you consider work hard, working hard at it, be persistent, be disciplined, don't give up, don't let go of where you want to be. Then it can be challenging, but it's too enjoyable to sort of put it in the same category as something being hard. Hard work, yes, but more on the enjoyable level for me. And with that enjoyment, I think the lyrics flow out quite easily. Lyrics that actually mean something to me, and I'm hoping will mean something to my listeners as well.
Yeah. So Benny, man, have you had your Kanye West moment? That moment where you're like, yo, I'm a genius. Did you just hear what you just said on this record? And, it kind of gives you chills because of the things you kind of put together in the song. Your creative primeness is showing. Have you had that moment?
Yeah, there's a few. There's a few lyrics that will come back to me, and sometimes you lay something down, you get so caught up in everything else that you might listen to it at a later point in time, and you're like, yeah, that's right. There's like two or three references or analogies in that line. I know why I use that, and so I like the ones when they come back to you, and I can't. I'd like to give you a reference, but I've got so many in different spots. It's kind of like a Where's Wally, but I like sitting back and listening to it in my car and go, yeah, that you're onto something there, and then just reminding yourself of what you did. That's nice when that happens. I love it.
Do you have a couple of insiders as well? Like only you know what you're talking about because it happened in the moment, and you kind of pen a rhyme in that moment that it happened?
Yeah, a lot of the time. That's something too. That's something that you've got your own personal experiences, or even your own lingo and dialect or experiences that we use with our friends growing up. So I think more so in my early days of rapping, and I was with a crew called Bouncer, and we were literally nightclub bouncers, working the doors and rapping about our experiences and using the type of slang that we used to use growing up, or the type of slang or code words we used to use among ourselves as bouncers. And after that project, I sort of thought, look, it was great for us, and it was great for all our people in that nightclub scene that were supporting us. But there's a whole world out there that had probably no idea what we were talking about. So you got to find that middle ground where you can also, it's relatable to everybody, because the message could be a little bit mixed if those the way words are used and how we use those words aren't explained, or you don't take the time to kind of explain it on a way where everyone can relate. So I'm trying to keep it more relatable to the wider audience. Now, there still might be instinctively some moments where, it is a little bit more on a personal level. But I guess as you develop, you try to make it more relatable to more people so they can appreciate it. That's all.
Yes, sir. So looking back on your beginnings and in your career, in retrospect, is there anything that you would do differently now if you were able to do your career all over again?
That's a really good question. Everything always happens for a reason. So I just come back from the States, and I said to myself, first thing I said when I come back after recording 4 tracks and having a really having this record deal on the there, and of course I said to myself, damn, I should have went to the States years ago. I should have just started from there. I should have just not worried about Australia. But you can't. It was probably it's wrong of me to think that way, because everything happens for a reason, and there's always, I'm big on numbers and like the alignment of numbers and stars and timings and spirituality, and I think everything always happens for a reason. So I can't have any regrets. It's all experience. That's just life, and I'm really happy with how it's going at the moment. So I can't take any of it back. I have to be honest, but it is instinctive, I think, as a person to, damn, geez, that was great. But maybe if I went to the States 20 years ago, things wouldn't have been so easy. People wouldn't have taken me so seriously. You just don't know. So for that reason, I'll say no regrets. I'm happy with how everything went, and I'm very much looking forward to this year and what lies ahead.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, are y'all ready for some music? All right, we're about to play Benny Sinclair's song Jungle, and we'll be right back. Here it is.
See my life that's straight this way. I'm mind over matter, that's industry. I'm a hustle for the dollar, ain't new to me. Never knocked out cause I believe. Great to the source and I won't leave. Won't give up cause I'll achieve it. Every thought, more faith I reach. Climb to the top to show them peace. Media hype spread like disease. Rappers be free, fuck the police. Just the lyrics, not literally. Whoa, 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 it's the pigs out here. Laying down, I know it's a jungle out here. The struggle was a jungle, all the problems I caused. Survival in the jungle wasn't leaving the heart. At least it gave me strength, made me physically strong. Weakness is the secrets that don't belong. It's hard to make a living when you're living at home. Never get a day when I take it lost. Choose the life I live, I've lived through a tough. Make my own choices that come to the cost. Learn to live better and step to the cause. When I was a dealer, you should shuffle the cards. Hey! I'm living in this jungle and I'm living it hard. I'm hunting for a living and by that I mean broads. I'm chasing all the dollars from the past that I lost. I'm dodging all the cameras that they flash when I pass. I'm drinking more than ever just to drown all my thoughts. I'm sleeping more than ever cause I'm tired from cots. I'm banging more than ever cause the girls like the sauce. I'm bumping like a Hoover, then that shit's just my fault. Lay down, it's a jungle out there. 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 Never be afraid to go against odds. My money on my life, I quite could toss. Get it all together, not as easy I thought. Wanna climb high, own life like a boss. Wanna shine brighter like the sun on the cross. Wanna inspire, that's the reason I'm lost. Wanna rise up, be the father I was. Never forget, forgive, you took a loss. Turn a life around, bring the message like God. Spread the word loud, hear the music like song. Never be afraid to admit what's wrong. Voices in my head, I wonder where I'm from. I wrote me a song, that's where I belong. It's a jungle out here, I'm the rapper King Kong. Sweet to the militia, try to take on. The survival of the fittest, I go all day long. Lay down, it's a jungle out here. 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 I'm spending all the dollars earned from breaking the law. I'm slapping all the bitches when they front in the jaw. By that I mean the stitches, not the ladies, of course. They got me by the britches and I'm hanging like drawers. I gave up all my paper and I'm screwed and divorced. I'm staring out the window chasing answers I'm lost. I'm praying more than ever, give me strength now, oh Lord. I've ever been a player, I got played, I won't fall.
All right, and we are back again. That was Benny Sinclair with his song Jungle. Dope record. All right, guys, the long view. The magnitude of your success and fulfillment will be in direct proportion on how far ahead you consider the consequences of your actions. If you have no thought or consideration for your consequences beyond the present moment, you'll be successful on a very small scale, chasing from one immediate gratification to another. As you begin to extend the consideration of your consequences further and further into the future, your level of true success will grow. Every action has consequences, not only now but far into the future. For a particular action, for the immediate consequences may be desirable, yet the future consequences of the same action may be disastrous. To enjoy the most success, take the actions which have the most positive consequences over the longest amount of time. Smoking a pack of cigarettes may be somewhat pleasurable today, but it can have very negative consequences on the coming up days in the future. And no, I'm not rallyist against smoking. I'm just saying it's for it's to help the narrative, right? Don't judge me. Investing $1,000 in a mutual fund might be of a bit of a sacrifice today, but it can continue to have a very positive consequence for a long time to come. Success consists of thinking ahead, of considering future consequences, and of taking actions based on those considerations. Make the overall long-term consequences positive and enjoy the benefits long into the future. Take that from me, dini-mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond. But for right now, let's bring back the man of the moment, Benny Sinclair. What is up, my man?
Hey, my man.
Yes, sir.
Still here, man. Hanging in.
Yeah, dope music. Yeah.
Thanks, my man. Yeah, that's one straight from the heart, that one.
All right. Well, I have a few more questions for you, man. What avenues have you yet to explore that you think your voice and musical talents could potentially be a fit for?
Well, I'm sort of I sing a little bit, but I think the best way to describe the way I sing, because it's all it's all from the heart, and it's all about the words and trying to get my message across. I feel like I'm a blues type singer. So I wouldn't mind kind of messing with the blues a little bit. I like this. There's something in rap and blues and the combination of the two. And it's funny, an old Aussie or Australian slang for fighting or that is, people say, oh, you got into a blue, they call it. So it's kind of with the boxing background, rap and blues. There's something in that. So I'm feeling maybe going down on that kind of blues kind of level, and or even experimenting with some rock a little bit as well. It's always been a popular genre of music here, and obviously there's been some some big rock acts come out of where I'm from in Melbourne, like AC/DC and just to name one, and stuff like that. So one of the new tracks, I won't, without going in too much, there's a little bit of inspiration from that kind of genre as well. So so I wouldn't mind going down more so the blues line, but maybe a little bit of experimental rock in there just to mix it up a bit would be cool.
Yes, sir. All right, one final question, man. What advice do you have for an artist who is truly looking for their voice, their signature?
I'll use a personal example. I've been in studios with particular producers, and there's nothing wrong with what they said, what I've been told, but they said, you really should reference an artist. I don't mind referencing an artist. I don't mind referencing who makes you move, who you feel, but referencing does not mean lose your own voice. Be your own person. Have your own voice. You can, there might be parts of your favorite rapper or your favorite singer that you like, but don't forget who you are. And I think if you can mimic a sound and sound exactly like somebody and become rich and famous if you've got the right people behind you. Don't get me wrong, but you're always going to be playing a character. I think in essence, it's always better to be yourself, because it's ultimately your message, and I'd rather be someone that other people can use as a reference rather than just being lost in a persona that isn't quite me. So I think be yourself, and also do your training, practice, do your vocal exercises. Treat it that the voice is like any other muscle. You gotta work it. You gotta train it. If you want to be good, you got to practice, and just have that bit of discipline, even and be sensible as well. Don't run like if you were training weights, don't just train non-stop in the gym. Give yourself some rest. Look after your voice. If you're starting to get a bit of a sore throat, back off a little bit, drink something more, and just treat it like you would any other, or treat it like you would your car or whatever you love, because you've got to love your own voice, and if you love your own voice, you can only hope that your audience will love it too.
Most definitely. All right, Benny Sinclair, well, I want to thank you so much for being our guest today. Much appreciation, brother.
Thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure, and it was great chatting with you. And I loved all your inspirational quotes and all that stuff. It was really nice to hear, man. It's been a great little interview with you, and be happy to be on any other time, man. It's been an honor.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, man. Have a great night.
No worries. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website, and that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@only1mediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the number one rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable, because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.